Great to be in Hamilton. Looking out the window, I'm pleased to see that you had a bit of a systems overhaul here in the Waikato, realised you're not as good as us in the Crusaders region at rugby and decided to follow football. So well done for recognising that. So Bonnevere Farm, we're in the top northeastern corner of the South Island, next to the saltworks. My wife Shelley and I, with our two boys Oliver and Quinn. Oliver's shown it's been a challenging season, so we could only afford half a haircut. Probably pretty trendy in Hamilton, I'm picking, but and my parents Doug and Wendy, as we've talked about, and you're probably looking at the picture and thinking, well, Fraser must be adopted. Like Doug and Wendy. There's no red showing there, but it's called environmental influences, and that's what 103 years as a family farming next to the saltworks does. The rust had to set in at some stage. Cool. So I asked Graham the other day what actually did he want me to talk about, and he sort of said, "Well, that's a good question." And he talked about a few things, and the first thing he mentioned was people and having everyone on the same page. And as I mentioned before, one of the things I've learnt is people is huge. And so we talk about sustainability being a three-legged stool years ago, and they were all equally important. And I've been thinking about that for the last 18 months, and I've actually decided that the people social side of it's the most important leg on that stool. So how could we make that more important? Well, I've decided that the seat on top of the three legs is part of the people thing as well. And so for me, that's front and centre. And I see the biggest opportunity for our sector at the moment in first understanding ourselves better. I think there's a really big opportunity in that space, and then how we relate and work with those around us. And once we nail that opportunity, there's a realisation that we're grossly under-invested in labour in our sector. I haven't engaged with many organisations who I think have got enough labour on their team. And so that's where I'm coming from today. And so for me, it's about resilience with the people, and it starts with passionate people. You've got to be passionate about what you do. Life's too short to spend it doing things you're not passionate about. So for us, what I get up and do every day, I'm passionate about. And we engage with individuals and companies who are passionate about what they do. That's a whole lot more fun. People that we engage with, we want to share similar values. So it's important for us that we understand what those values are that we have, and then working with those that share those. We prioritise learning at Bonnevere. So when we set the weekly planner, it's the first thing that goes in, learning opportunities. So that's not just for me at the top of the team, but it's for right through to the junior shepherds. Everybody prioritises learning opportunities to continue to improve what they do, individually or as a team. It's been really powerful. Appreciation, simple little word. Well, it's not that little for a farmer, but it's a simple word. It's something that I've learnt quite a bit about in recent times, is that we don't take enough time to appreciate what we've got or to appreciate those around us. I often have young people ring me and tell me that their employer on the farm, or in other businesses too actually, has never once said thank you, and they've worked there over 12 months. It's a simple little thing, but that's something we're really big on at Bonnevere. We appreciate those that are around us and everything that we've got, and we take time to appreciate it. Proud of who we are. Raise your hand with me if you're proud of who you are and what you do. Brilliant. I think everyone put up their hand. That's something we can control. So we all should be proud of who we are and what we're doing. We're incredibly proud of what we do at Bonnevere. And the next thing there is controllables. So we focus on the things we can control. There's a whole lot of stuff out there we can't control, so why waste our energy and time on that stuff? So all of our thought and processes put into those things that we know we can control. We can't control the weather, but we can build systems around it so that we can be successful. Celebrate our wins. You know, we've just been through a couple of years of drought. It rained over the weekend. We had 103 mils, the best rain we've had for several years. So left the farm yesterday morning pretty excited, seeing our dams full and the grass growing again. But during those 2 years, we had a heap of wins, lots of wins. Some days they were only small, but we made sure we celebrated them really well. So it kept us in a good headspace looking for the opportunities. Me time. This is something I learned a few years ago and I talk about quite a bit, because for me it's the most important time in all of our lives, but it's the easiest time to stop. And so I play field hockey, have done for many years, and a few years ago I dislocated my shoulder 3 times and had a bit of surgery, and I had a couple of years not playing. And during that time I didn't pick up anything else that fell into the me space time. 3 years ago I got back into hockey, and I suddenly realised that I was a different person again. And that's when I came up with this idea about me time, and it was so powerful for me to have something every week that I went away from the business, away from the wife and the kids, and did something for myself. And I thought about it, and I thought, as we go through life, we get into careers, we get partners, families, all that sort of thing, and it's the first thing we often stop. Lots of my friends don't take time out for something for themselves, and yet when we're doing that stuff, I've found it's so powerful. And so that's something, I challenge you all. Do you have me time? It doesn't have to be sport. It could be going out for a drink with a friend, something like that. But it's having that time for yourself.